Hello once again, Purple Eagles fans. My name is Todd Callen, and we welcome you to our season preview visit today with Niagara men's basketball head coach Chris Casey. Coach, thanks so much for stopping by.
Thanks for having me, Todd.
Coach, let's dive right into your team. Was the highest scoring team in the conference a season ago, 13th in the nation. Khalil Dukes and Matt Scott have graduated and left the program. How do you make up for their void and still push the pace?
Well, you know, the thing we tell our guys with that is we'll miss those two guys. But we won't miss a beat. We just keep moving forward. We have a number of talented returners who have experience. We have a number of talented young guys who need to play a little bit above their experience level. So we're going to push the pace. We're going to play fast. We're going to shoot threes in transition and try to score in the first 10 to 12 seconds of that shot clock. So what we'll look to do will be the same, and I feel like we can produce the same results.
I thought Marvin Projet a season ago was one of your key players without a doubt. Talk about Marv. It'll be his senior year. He led the league in double-doubles. He was the top rebounder in the MAC. Talk about what you need from Marv this year.
Yeah, I said this from December on to everybody that spoke to me about our team. Marvin Projet was robbed last year. Marvin Projet should have been an all-league player.
Yeah.
You mentioned the statistics that he had. Some that you didn't mention, he was 40% from the three-point line. He had a 3-to-1 assist-to-turnover ratio. He was glue for us last year and made a lot of big plays. Just as Marv would do, he's going to use it as jet fuel this year, you know, and prove to people that he is an all-league player. He's really improved his perimeter game. We'll use him inside and on the perimeter this year. His leadership is invaluable to us. How he holds guys accountable, how he sets a standard with how hard he works. You know, I could sit here and talk about him for the next hour. We're very fortunate to have him with our team and very fortunate to have him with one of our captains.
Dominic Robb, also one of your captains, as Dom also embarks on his senior season. Talk about some improvements in his game that you've seen in the change from his junior year to now his senior year.
Yeah, we spent a lot of time this summer trying to expand his game and make him not only effective around the basket, but be able to step away from the basket a little bit, be able to make 15-footers, maybe a couple threes, put the ball on the floor a little bit more, handle the basketball, which in hopes will improve his assist-to-turnover ratio. We expect that he's going to get doubled a lot in the low post this year because he can score down there. So he's going to have to be good with handling the ball and being able to find the next pass, which will let us play 4-on-3 or 3-on-2 on the perimeter after the double team.
Coach, let's talk about your front court. Greg King, Greg Kawakamensa, in addition to Marvin and Dominic Robb. Talk about how you can have them be such a force this season in the MAC.
Well, I think one of the things we're going to have to do is we threw the ball inside to some degree last year. I think we need to get more touches inside this year. We can still play that fast pace and get quick post-ups in transition, get quick post-ups in our ball screen and roll action. It's going to be important that we do that. You know, we got to the foul line last year. I think we were 9th and 10th in the country in free throw attempts and free throw attempts made. And one of the ways you do that is by throwing the ball inside. So we have some guys that can do some things with it. It'll help force some double teams, which will help us play 4-on-3, 3-on-2 on the perimeter. So we're going to need to get a few more inside touches this year.
Someone's going to have to feed the ball to those guys in the paint. Talk about James Towns. You said earlier, I've turned the keys of the car over to James. Talk about what you need from him.
Yeah, well, we talked about that, you know, throughout last year and into the summer. You know, he played a very important role for us last year, had some big games off the bench for us, helped us win a bunch of games. And throughout that year, we talked about, hey, you're not only helping us win this year, but you're developing your skill level and your approach to the game to get the keys to the car next year, so that when that happens, you're prepared. And he's done a really good job with that to this point. He's in the process of learning when to solo, when to be in time with the rest of the orchestra, and he's doing a good job of picking his points with that because we do need him to score, you know, and that's hard. He's a guy that can get his shot pretty much any time he wants, so sometimes that's a little more difficult thing to learn when you know you can go at any time, but you also have to get other people involved and kind of mix that up. And he's really doing a good job of learning that, and he's going to get even better at it.
Historically, the MAC has been known perhaps as a guard-oriented league. You've got some strength in the backcourt with Chris Barton. Khalif Tate played great minutes for you a season ago. Dominic Fergala, the redshirt freshman, will see some minutes this year. Talk about your backcourt as a whole.
Well, let's go start with Chris Barton. I mean, Chris is one of our senior captains, along with Greg King, along with Dom Robb, and along with Marvin Projet. And those four young men are doing a very good job of setting an example and a standard in practice by how hard they work. And they're also holding guys accountable to that level, which is what you need from your leadership. Chris has been a solid mainstay for us for 4 years now. And, you know, going into this year, we're really looking for him to increase the scoring load a little bit. He's got to be one of the better defenders on the floor. We need him to rebound a little bit more. And he's been really good with those things in practice. He's become more solid with the basketball to improve that assist-to-turnover ratio. You know, and then Khalil gave us some really good games last year, and he's made some big improvements in the summer. So we're really looking for him to step up and you know, kind of take up some of the scoring slack that's going to be missing without Matt and Khalil, and he's capable of doing it. I think he had a game last year where he had 5 threes in a game. Yep. He made 3 threes in the exhibition game, but he's not just limited to three-point shooting. He can get to the basket and get to the foul line too. And then we have a number of young guys, you know, in that backcourt. We need Dom to score the ball. You know, he's got to be a guy that comes off the bench and makes shots and you know, gets points per minute for us. And Raheem Solomon is a freshman that I think has a lot of potential. He's coming off a little bit of a knee injury from early in the preseason here, but he's starting to come back from it now. Played a little bit in the exhibition game. He's got good size for a guard, can shoot the ball, get to the basket. And I expect him to, as the season goes on, to just get better and better and better. And then we have some other good young guards with Steve Levniak from Canada. Yeah. I'm probably missing 1 or 2 guys.
Marcus Hammond had a good game.
Marcus, you know, Marcus has been really good for us. And what he's done is he's learning the point guard position, and he's learning play off the ball too. You can see from watching the exhibition game, he can shoot it, and he shoots it from deep. And as he adjusts from the high school level to the college level, gets a little more used to the physicality, a little more used to the speed of the game, he's going to be a very, very good player in our program.
Coach, now let's take a look at your schedule for the upcoming season. You'll take on a couple of NCAA tournament teams. You'll also take on an ACC foe in the University of Pittsburgh, and you'll host another tournament over Thanksgiving weekend. Talk about how your schedule hopefully sets you up for a good MAC run.
Yeah, I think one of the things that's important in our schedule this year is we've got a good number of home games. We'll be at home for 16 of the 31 games, and that includes non-league games and league games. So that gives our fans a chance to really come out and get to see us a number of times. And we hope that they do, because we need them to pack that gym and make that gym a home court advantage for us. But it's a really good schedule. Out of conference, we'll start with St. Bonaventure. That'll be this coming Monday night. The gym will be packed. It'll be a hot gym. It'll be, you know, an old school atmosphere, which is something that we all like, and there'll be a good intensity level to us. So we're looking forward to that one. We go on the road then for 2 very good road games. We'll play a Final Four team in Loyola, Chicago, and play University of Wyoming, who won 20-plus games last year. We have Pitt on the schedule, obviously an ACC team. We'll host our Thanksgiving tournament, which will be a lot of fun. We did that last year, and we really enjoyed it, and we're looking forward to it this year. And then we have some home-and-home games, some series that will be starting, like Albany at home, and some series that will have to return, like returning to Army and returning to Cleveland State. So it's a really good schedule leading into the MAC conference. And
Coach, you did have an exhibition game earlier. We talked about it briefly against Mercyhurst. What were some of the takeaways as you look at the game film and you talk to some of the players as to what they took away from that win over the Lakers?
Yeah, I think a couple things. You know, going into the game, it was important to me to have everybody involved. I believe we had everybody but 2 guys play double-figure minutes, which I thought was kind of what I wanted to get to. Put everybody out there for opportunities, see how they handled them and what they could do with them. We did, the best way I can categorize the game is we did what we're supposed to do. We shot the ball well. I think we were 10 of 21 from 3. Low turnovers. I think we had 10 or 11 turnovers, which I think is good. Defensively, we did some good things and some things we got to get better at. Same thing with rebounding, some good things, some things we have to get better at. I thought we did a good job of getting inside touches. You know, so positives, and overall, if I were to categorize it, that's what I would say. We did what we were supposed to do in the game.
All right, Coach, thanks so much for the time, and we wish you luck during the year.
Thank you, Todd.
Folks, don't forget the men's basketball season will open up on Monday night, November 12th at the Gallagher Center with a 7 p.m. tip against St. Bonaventure. And folks, don't forget, always keep it locked in at purpleeagles.com for schedule, scores, game day information, and highlights of your Purple Eagles men's basketball team. For head coach Chris Casey, my name is Todd Callen. Have a great day, everyone.